What's up guys, Ronnie here and welcome to this Aurora Inferno Auto Showcase. That's right, Aurora Inferno Auto. I haven't really seen anyone on YouTube make a video on Auto Aurora. I'm not sure how many people even figured out a way to defeat Inferno Aurora. But I will go over the mechanics of the boss fight, the thought process behind the team that I've cooked up here. And let me tell you up front already, if you're expecting a speed clear, you're at the wrong video, my guy. This is a slow grind, okay? This is a slow grind, but it's an auto run and it gets the job done. Because I ain't doing manual runs for thousands of runs, that's for sure. And this video will show you guys that auto runs are possible for Aurora. I will go into the team, the thought process behind the team, and through that you will probably be able to cook up your own team according to your units and eventually level them up. And once you have them leveled up, you will be able to do Inferno as well. The thing about Aurora Inferno is it kind of needs some units that you otherwise wouldn't build if you don't have the same units that I have, because I have these units built anyways. So how does Aurora work? Now Aurora, here's the main thing about Aurora compared to, can I say it, Doki Doki and Termaton, and that is Aurora isn't a rushdown. Aurora is someone you can take your time on. Now if you have the gear, by no means go for it, right? Go for the one tap. But let's be honest, who has the gear here? Not me, that's for sure, not me. So Aurora doesn't scale right during the fight. She doesn't ramp up, and that's good for us because this means we can just tank down, and this is what I'm going to do here. It's a slow burner of a fight, but it works. It gets the job done. That's what matters here. So what does Aurora exactly do? The core mechanic behind the team that you need to do is going to be not even the immunity that she reapplies all the time. That's one annoying feature as well. But the main issue that you have, let's go into some clears, random clears. The main issue that you have is going to be this right here, the ref. And let's stop it here so you see everything. The ref scales up, and at 15 stacks she immediately uses a counterattack. And if she attacked and then counterattacks, you're kind of cooked, right? And to make Aurora not stack that ref too fast, you need to hit that accumulated anger. With every single instance of damage you deal to Aurora, you reduce that accumulated anger, right? For example, a Rosa auto attack with her debuff goes for 6 hits, removes 6 hits of this anger, right? So this is one of the core mechanics. And the other core mechanics, I think we've seen it already. Do we? We've seen it at the beginning at least, for sure. And that is why everyone is using a Ling Lo on Twin Trick manually. Put the Twin Trick from the Lily on the Ling Lo, and that is right. So who the heck is faster than Aurora? Not me. So this right here, this debuff removes the ability to heal. It gets reapplied by Aurora all the time, and it will reduce your damage, and your units will take a shit ton of damage when they have that debuff on. You just want to get rid of it, and the only way to get rid of it is by healing. That's why everyone is using Ling Lo with Twin Trick. Now the alternative would be use just another healer on top of that, right? That's the other alternative. The thing about that is, who has another healer built up, right? Some people have built up Sonya. You can't use Sonya here. And the other unit, Viper isn't really here for my team specifically to apply the buff strip, but for my team he's specifically here still in the team. Why is he still in the team as a stripper? It's simply because he applies a slow. He applies a slow debuff and an attack down, which helps a lot with your survivability if you want to tank down that long prolonged fight, right? That's the main thing that you need to consider here on the Viper. Now, like I said, I personally, I also don't have another healer built up, but you will be able to in the future have multiple artisans go in with the Great Wall of China strat with multiple artisans and then you have multiple healers, and you just whittle the boss down slowly, right? And just have multiple healers geared up. This guy, for example, lovely comp here, lovely comp. Wow, he's using a Doki Doki. He's using a Doki Doki. This might be another one. This might be another one as well. But I don't have a Doki Doki. I don't have a Doki Doki. But if you're watching this and you have a Doki Doki, no Lily, think about it, because Doki Doki cleanses a lot of debuffs. You want healers to cleanse it? I guess Doki Doki works as well. And Doki Doki speeds up your units, accelerates your team. So she's another unit that works actually in some kind. Now the key thing here is still that he has another speed booster, right? Is another speed booster, because you want to take turns faster than Aurora, so you can get rid of that debuff that I talked about early at the beginning. So my strategy was, well, how do I get to deal any damage? How do I get to do the twin trick on my Linglo and still deal damage? Because I'm not gonna do it on manual that much. That's just not it. So as you can see, I have a DPS Linglo. Come on, bring it in. Nah, I'm not kidding, guys. That's right. As you can see, we have 2k attack on our Linglo. I think double attack bonuses here. I think 1 attack bonus might even be enough. And we have a Lily that therefore automatically pairs up with the Linglo. Let's go into our team first, actually, so you see the team. And then we go into the gear. So here's the team. So what's the thought process behind all of that? Like I said, I have the Linglo on some attack pieces. And everyone else on that team, Valerian, Tiamat, and Viper, they run a level 1 helmet. It's very important, that level 1 helmet. Because, actually the Viper runs a level 15 helmet. Because he has so low stats. My Viper isn't geared enough yet. Back to the level 1 helmet. The reason why you want the level 1 helmet is because you want your Linglo to be about 50% plus attack of everyone else, because you have a Valerian, right? Most of the people don't have another healer built, right? So I have the Valerian here as another safety net. Because then the Valerian attack buff, think about it, right? Imagine I have 1000 attack on Tiamat, I have 1300 attack on Linglo. Tiamat has the attack buff from Valerian, she has 1400, therefore more than Linglo. Then unlucky timing, Lily gets twin trick, gets the twin trick to Tiamat, and the other one is Jover. It's Jover for you, right? So that's the thought process behind it. You want to have a DPS Linglo, and for my Linglo to survive and for my Viper to survive, I'm using Tiamat, right? Because Tiamat has a damage share in herself, in her kit, so she makes it easier for your team to survive, especially my Linglo that is on attack. Now she's not struggling that much. It's mainly my full effect accuracy Viper, because I don't know how much FRES Aurora has, so I just put on a ton of effector accuracy on him. And he's not geared or skilled up to the max. I have to work on that on the weekend. And therefore, my Viper is on the threat. And that's the only reason why some of my auto runs fail, is because my Viper isn't where I want him yet. Sometimes he dies. And that's the thing about Aurora. Once a unit dies, then she scales up. But as long as everyone's alive, you're good to go. Once a unit dies, the run is over though. Unless you rush her down. But yeah, the Tiamat keeps people alive. I have double artisan tech. I have the healing thing on the Linglo, like I said. I have the cooldown reduction on the Valerian, so she gets back into her ultimate faster. And a Viper on Gigabyte, because I want my Viper to go more. And the Gigabyte is the other shell that I have geared. Now, let's get into the replacements here. Let's get into the replacements, or should we go into the tech? So let's go into the tech real quick. It's still the same set I use for Doki Doki. Swift Rush and Strife on the Lily, and Artisan to keep my team alive. Then here I use a Bloodbath. I find Bloodbath very useful because she takes a lot of damage for her allies as well. It's easy for her to take a lot of damage. She really needs to survive that. She kills herself as well slowly, basically. She really needs to survive that. Bloodbath just gets you tanky, and Bramble for the counterattacks. Bramble on Tiamat is just super good. And then another Artisan. Then a Halloween. And I run the set I run on Freya for Doki Doki, more or less, on my Valerian, just with the Halloween instead of a Gigabyte, because I don't really want my Valerian to cycle fast. I want her to stay in her sleep as much as possible. And how can I do that? Well, by reducing her cooldown. So I have some cooldown reduction here. I have some cooldown reduction with the Halloween as well. I just want her to sleep. I just go sleep, as Habib would say. Then Linglo, like it's also Strive plus Swift Rush. Actually, my Strive isn't either fully geared because I use this Supernova that doesn't have the right substats, but Strive and Swift Rush would be my recommendation. And like I said, you want her to have more attack than the other units, and all the other units, they run a level 1 helmet. Then the Viper, where is my Viper? He's a bit squishy, isn't he? There's my Viper. Just Swift Rush and Time Weave. Bunch of speed, as much as I can get. It's not much, but we take it. Once I have my Viper leveled up, have his skills leveled up as well more, he gets to be a bit more tanky as well, then the run is even safer. Now, as for replacements, let's go into the replacements. First up, I don't think there's any reason to replace Viper or Linglo. That already out of the way. Then for replacements for the rest, I was thinking for DPS, who else could we use that doesn't need a lot of attack, right? So our Lily still goes on the other unit, for example, if we use the Lily. And another DPS that I was thinking about was not Rahu, you're green. Was Holton. Now the problem with Holton for me is he doesn't provide that damage reduction for the team like the Tiamat does. So therefore my Viper is under more death threat as well. Now if my Viper is geared up right more, if my Linglo is tankier, then all of a sudden a Holton might actually start to be a better option than Tiamat. Right? If your team is tanky enough, and if you, I'd say, instead of a Valerian, use someone else as your healer, because I think we can actually already go into the healer. I think a Chiaki and a Dorothy would work very well as your healers as well. Then all of a sudden, where do we have him? A Holton could work, because the Holton would still be able to deal damage, right? Because he does have that defense down. He applies that defense down himself, so he actually can deal some damage through that defense break. Another DPS that I was thinking was Hellkit. Now Hellkit, the issue is you need an insane Hellkit. You really need an insane Hellkit. The thought process was, well, instead of the Linglo cycling with her ultimate, you just have the Hellkit cycling with his ultimate and applying the Shroud Barrier all the time, you know, giving your team immunity and tankiness and dealing the damage on top of that for your team as well. Problem with that is you need a super strong Hellkit to have a good Shroud Barrier, and even then Aurora hits so hard, it's just the Shroud Barrier is gonna be gone very quickly. Whereas Holton, you can still build quite tanky, right? It's easier for that reason as your DPS. As the healers, right? For the Lily replacement and for the, can I say it, Valerian replacement, Dorothy and Chiaki, I'd say, are the best options that you have for two simple reasons. Chiaki, I could see very good to be very good, simply because Chiaki has that Origami Guardian, and that reduces the damage taken by a large margin. So your units don't get one-tapped all of a sudden. She applies them over and over again, and she heals quite a good amount. She heals quite a good amount and quite consistently. And Chiaki, I was thinking, you know, pretty solid, right? But I just don't want to invest in her at the moment because I don't have the Latices. I want to fully get my Viper going for RTA reasons as well. The other one would be Dorothy. Same thing like the Chiaki, the Latices and everything. But the thing about Dorothy is, the nice thing about Dorothy is that she can actually not only heal insane amounts of stuff, but right, she can also dispel debuffs. And the big thing is this one. The Cascade Remedy, when the turn starts, heals the target for 80% of Dorothy's attack. And that's okay. But the big thing is, with excess healing, converted into a shield at 100% ratio. And I think this is a big one. Converted into a shield at 100% ratio. Let me say that again. Shield at 100% ratio. That's the tech that I've seen some people use on the Asia server for Termaton to tank it down with the Dorothy. And just the overheal, giving you lots of shield. That's another tech. But yeah, Dorothy is also someone that I've been thinking. But these are kind of the replacements. This is kind of the thought process. Then I was thinking also, you know, a rushdown comp with a Chloros. Oh man, I've built up my Chloros just to find out my Ditting mocks the Chloros by a large margin. Like Chloros, this man's a fraud. Anyways, let's get into the run. So this is the team, right? And you will see it will take some time. There's no special tech like in the turn order or anything that I have here. It is just we go, right? Because the Lily is fastest anyways. She will, as I was saying, this is the run, right? You see it, twin trick on the Linglo, and Linglo cycles thanks to that and just heals and gives a bunch of whale prayers to everyone. And eventually our Tiamat is gonna transform, and eventually Aurora is gonna fall down. And this is the team, right? Gain turn meter. Come on, Tiamat, bring it in, big nuke. Boom! There we go. We take those. Look at this. Come on. This was a showcase for you guys. If you have the same units, hey, congratulations. You're good. If not, like I said, I gave some recommendations for replacements ideas. You can just tank that boss down, and that's what I'm doing here. Oh, look at that damage. We're choosing up here. Big damage. We like those. We like counterattack maybe. Not a... Oh, here goes counter. Oh, you don't want to see that, Aurora, do you? Hit him with the 1-2 combo with the Tiamat. Anyways, that's it already from me. Stay tuned for more. If I find some faster runs, I will keep you updated, but my Tiamat is actually putting in the work. Now, important message here on the end. If you don't have the Lily, I highly recommend you to like and subscribe, because word in the streets is, that's just a word in the streets, guys, is that your summoning luck will increase and the Lily will come home. With that said, wish you guys all a blessed day. I'm Ronnie, and I'm out. Peace.